Contact! Okay. Shall I just hold the fucking camera like this? Hello. I'm not going to fucking do this video a million times. So, this is a pre-teardown video for Matthew Hudson of The Workshop. Anybody who's not a subscriber of his, I urge you to go over to his channel, have a little look. You know, all that other shout out business. So basically, he's a really cool dude. I love him to pieces because he's a man after my own heart, and he does, you know, he's a proper engineer. You know, he chose a lifestyle that was better than mine. And I've fucking learned loads off of him, and he's just awesome. So yeah, go and check him out. Anyway, what I'm doing and what he's kindly offered to do for me is take an engine, a very special engine, an engine he loves, which is awesome for me, and do a teardown video and a rebuild video. Yeah, I want it back in one piece. And also, you know, we'll have a look at the second gear and sort it if it can be sorted. If it can't be sorted, it can't be sorted, whatever. But the important thing is he's going to get to tear down a Honda VFR 94 to 97 engine, which is in his words, a beautiful engine. So here we are. This is how the bike's been for the best part of 3 years now. Can I get a... Oh, anyway, this is the state that she's in at the moment, and you know she's sort of been sitting around for a bit. I just thought I'd give you a quick introduction before we start taking her to pieces. Obviously, with a bike that's been sat around, if at any bike, particularly a 50,000 mile bike, you don't know what the history is. I can tell you that this was the bike I learned on. Consequently, not learned as in how I passed my test, but the bike I really learned on by riding the fucking arse off of her. And she, you know, absolute pride and joy of this thing. And you know, even the fact that the second gear started to slip out, and I did all sorts of things to try and solve it, including, you know, clutches and gear levers and just fucking, you know, renovating stuff and repair kits and stuff. It's all 3-4 years ago, so I forget all of that now. But yeah, she does have a new clutch in there, I think, unless... Oh no, actually, I think I took the clutch out and put it in the new VFR, because the one that it had was a bit shit. So yeah, let's try and give you a bit of a view around it. I don't know how much the light... In fact, actually, I will stop this video here, take her out in the light and show you a bit more. So, let's talk you through a little bit about what's going on with this thing. So obviously I've had her apart and whatnot. First thing I need to mention is that one. The spark plug socket has been helicoiled. I've helicoiled it. Take credit for it because I think it's did quite a good job. That's the first thing. I've had these off so they'll be loose. Because while I was working on her, it was helpful to have, you know, something to look at and go, oh, that's what it's supposed to look like. She's still got oil in her. So it's 2014, December 2014 she was taken off the road. So nearly 4 years. There is oil in there, and it's not shit oil either. It's you know, half decent Motul 1040. But of course it has just been sitting there for all this time. You'll notice that a couple of engine bolts have been taken out. There is a reason for it. That reason would have been me taking the clutch out and not putting all the bolts back. So yeah. Second gear, right. So I've ridden her 30,000 miles, and the last 10,000 miles of her life, the second gear started to go. And by the second gear going, what I mean is it wouldn't stay in gear. So under load, oh yeah, and I've had the clutch off her. Under load, you know, you get into second, under load, it would just ping out into neutral. So my riding style for the last 2,000, 3,000 miles was first, third, never using second, because you just wouldn't stay in. and it just got progressively worse and worse and worse and worse. And as I say, I put new clutch in it. I renewed that clutch rod, so that's fairly new, just in case it was bent. Obviously, I had a crack at putting a new clutch on. I've been through gaskets. What else have I done to it? Oh yeah, I think you can remove a significant portion of this stuff and give it a good old clear out, and I did. Because I was, so I don't remember exactly what I did with that, but I did dismantle all of this and do some work. I think there's springs, clips, of God knows what's in there. Hopefully we'll see that in the teardown. But you know, just another thing to try and solve the issues of the clutch being, the gears, you know, knowing full well that it's because I'd fucked up the second gear. There were quite a lot of occasions when, so this is before I really knew what I was doing, there were quite a lot of occasions when I would either miss a gear and I'd stamp it in with absolutely no mechanical sympathy for what was going on inside the gearbox. And I think that's probably where the issues lie. Don't think there's a broken tooth. I think I decided, or I sort of settled on the fact that the dogs would be bent. So Matt will explain this far better than I ever can, but you have a sort of gear selectors inside which move cogs about, if you think of it like that. They actually move keyways keyways move them. I don't need to explain it, Matt will. Or has done, in fact. So I think that the selector forks are bent, and that's why it's going in alright, but it's not staying in under load because it's got no resistance, no fork to prevent it from popping out. So that's my thoughts on it. That's obviously what needs doing. You know, the whole fucking thing needs a damn good cleaner up as well. I'm sort of almost ashamed to send it to you in this state. I might give it a brass brush, you know, at least a bit of a brass brush work down before I send it to you. She's had regular oil changes as well, sometimes more than necessary, particularly when track days are coming up. You know, I tended to sort of do an oil change before a track day. So the rest of this video will be us actually removing the engine. She's such a beautifully engineered and designed bike anyway that, you know, it's I have never found a seized bolt on this. I suspect I will do now because it's been standard for 3 years, but you know, just everything I've ever done on this bike has never been an issue.